If you want to radically transform your life and take your health to the next level, click on my Breath is Life course below. This will optimize your breath as well as your meditation. And I'll see you after the video. Hey guys, Troy Casey, Certified Health Nut here at CHNHQ in Santa Monica, California. Today I'm going to talk about fatherhood and the experience and what it's done for me spiritually and how it's changed me as a man. But before we start, I run this channel commercial free for the past 13 years. And I don't like commercials when I watch YouTube videos. And so I wouldn't want to subject you guys to that. And so one way that I support myself and support my family is with the links in the description box. All the tools that I've designed to help you guys, whether that's my nutrition program, my Breath is Life program to optimize your breathing mechanics, and the stress management course, which also has breath work in it. And then of course my new book, #Ripped at 50. So feel free to support me anyway in that direction. And without further ado, here we go. So fatherhood, man, what did that do for me? So first and foremost, they say you're never ready, right? And at 40 years old, I was about as ready as I was gonna ever get. One of the things, one of my good friends from high school, he had many challenges with drugs and alcohol over the years. Real good worker bee, he's got a good work ethic, but he had children starting about 20 something years ago when he didn't have his act together. And then he got divorced and had another wife and had another child and had more challenges. And he was a father with two young children, maybe a teenager at the time and maybe one that was around 7 or 8. And I told myself, if he can do it, I can do it. So I feel, you know, even though I heard you're never ready, I was definitely ready. I was 40 years old. I traveled the world. This is what my mother told me, because my mother started having children when she was 16 years old. And she told us as kids, when we were young, when we were into the Rolling Stones and Harley Davidsons, and you know, we were teenagers, basically, very young teenagers. She said, go out, get your Harley Davidsons, see the world, see the Rolling Stones, and then get married and have children. That was her advice to me. And it's funny what you tell your children, because that ultimately became the path in my life. So I traveled the world, I'd seen many different things. And I went down to the Amazon rainforest in 2006. I wasn't in a relationship at the time. And I saw the children down there. Now, we live in a very interesting society. You know, there's children abductions that happen. You don't get to really hang out with children unless they're your nieces and nephews, that type of thing, unless it's family. And there I found myself in the Amazon, and the Indian women would come and sell their textiles, and their children would roam the streets, and some would beg. The begging down in Peru wasn't as bad as other places I've been. It was more nonchalant. It was just real beautiful children just hanging out. I would buy the little guys you know, food from the corner vendor on the street, and there was just an abundance of children, and I had never experienced that before. And I was enamored with the little girls, and I would eat at the Malecón in a nice cafe, and they would come and they would sit and they would talk to me. They were just so darling. And so again, I never experienced that living in the West, living in Europe, or living in California or Florida or anything. And it was a very endearing experience for me. There was a sensuality and a warmth with the Peruvian people, especially in the warmer climates in the Amazon rainforest. And so I came home from that experience, and of course I drank a lot of ayahuasca during that time. And then I had a vision of my daughter who came to me. The spirit of my daughter came to me. Many of you guys know that story. I put that in my book as well. And this had inspired me. And I came home and interviewed all the girlfriends I had at the time, and a lot of girls. I live in LA, and a lot of people are here to become actresses, and they're like, "Hey, dude, that's not me. I'm not interested in getting married." And so it was a very interesting situation, because my wife, Korean woman, I was never really into Asian women, and we became really good friends. And all the other girls that I interviewed, they weren't interested. However, Yuri, my wife, was interested in getting married, and so it was almost, I don't want to say reluctant. And the other thing I want to say is I don't believe in marriage as the institution is set up. I don't believe that I need the state to verify my love for my wife. I don't believe I need the state involved in my life at all. It happened that she needed a green card to stay in the country. She had trouble with her visa since 9/11. And so I had no problem with the paperwork. If it was an American woman that I chose to have children with, I probably would have not gotten married. So it's very interesting the way things work out. So we did the paperwork so that she could stay in the country. And the first thing we did as soon as we got married, I said, are you open to having children? And she was, and we were having sex at the time. So I was like, good, because I'm coming in you right now. And sure enough, we conceived my son right then and there. So many levels about fatherhood and becoming a father. Again, I was basically ready. And then I think it's a conceptual idea, even though your wife's going through hormonal differences, her body's changing. It's still an idea until that physical being is in your presence. And I remember the day that my son was born, it was still a conceptual idea, and I was helping my wife walk around the corner in a lot of pain. And we got into we had a water birth, and we got into the tub in my living room. And as soon as the head had crowned coming out of her vagina, it was the energetic component had completely shifted. It went from a conceptual idea to a reality that I was now going to be a father. And when he came out, and this video is on my YouTube channel, and it's been on there for years, and it has a lot of views. That moment changed my life forever. Plus, it was pretty fantastic. I took a lot of responsibility and researched birthing and fertility, and really understanding my own birth process and any trauma that I experienced, where my parents' head was at when they conceived. They were fighting physically when I was in the womb, and so I wanted to face that so I didn't repeat a lot of the same patterns. So I took a holistic approach to having my children and being very conscious of it as well. So I studied with the midwife, I studied all the material and did the homework she asked me to do, and I was present and ready. I delivered my son in my own living room, and but that moment he came out, my life changed forever. I was so happy. You can see the video on my YouTube channel. I was crying. And I took the responsibility to a very high level. And I've had ups and downs in my business, and I've struggled here and there, had some serious challenges, which made me wax and wane in my own belief of my own self, to support my family. So there's been some very heart-wrenching moments in my fatherhood, in my times being a father. But I've always stayed committed to being the best father and the best husband that I could possibly be. Why? Because I love my children, and it really just changed my life. So again, there's that idealistic concept And then there's the actuality, the reality of that physical being that's yours, that you made right then and there. And I recommend that all men out there really research birthing, fertility, birthing, and look into a water birth, and see the benefits both for the woman and the child. And so, fatherhood, now 13 years later, fatherhood keeps me on the straight and narrow. I'm super committed. And if I fall or fuck up, it's so easy for me to recommit, especially the love and adoration I have for my children and their development, and to watch them really unfold. And my little guys, they're super, super intelligent, super talented and artistic and athletic. And so my mission is just to provide as much for them that I can. And I'm not afraid of adversity either. I think the adversity that I suffered in my life created a lot of character. So I don't coddle my children, and I don't try and shroud them. I try to keep their innocence for as long as I can, but I don't shroud them, because the world outside of being shrouded inside can be tough, and I'm looking to have resilient, gritty kids that can stand up for themselves and go out and make a difference in the world. And Miguel, do you have any questions that can help stimulate this conversation about fatherhood?
Did you want to? I didn't know you wanted to be a father. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, I was very clear at 40 years old that I was ready to have children, and I wanted to have children. There was no mistake. I wanted to have children. And when my second child came, I think my wife at she was 45 when the second child came. And childbirth is very challenging for the women. And the older you get, it plays on your hormones. I don't think she was as ready for that. Plus some of the challenges that she had in the marriage that we had together. I think she thought that another child would be more stressful. And we had challenges with the second one. There was preeclampsia. Athena came 3 weeks early, premature birth. We ended up in the ICU. My wife almost died. So I think if we didn't have emergency medicine, which is amazing, medical industry, emergency medicine is so handy in a pinch. And so, this was a different time. She might not have made it. And but I also believe that the modern day stressors really affected that preeclampsia, and the research that I've done into it. All that stress really caused stress with the pregnancy, with the birth. But boy, oh boy, I don't think it affected Athena at all, because she came out raring and ready to go, and she's about the healthiest person I know besides myself. And so, fatherhood has been an incredible joy, and I can not show up as my best sometimes, fall on my face, shout at my kids. I try my best to not spank them, and I've called a moratorium on spanking over the years. I mean, I don't beat the shit out of them. I made that promise to myself because I had some trauma in my life. But I have, raised my hand to them here and there, and I keep coming back to my moratorium on hitting my children. it's just been a blessing, because anytime I get upset with my children, it just ends up being a reflection on me, and I get to go into my spiritual life deeper. And I'm just so excited. So 13 years into being a father, I'm so excited. I kiss them goodnight. I wake them up in the morning, and with a smile on my face, I'm ready to get going with them. And I take them out to the park every day. I take them to the beach. I throw the ball with them. I play hide and go seek. And we're in the coronavirus right now, and the college across the street from our house is shut down. So there's, 5-10 acres over there. We play hide and go seek over there, and it's so fun. So I just love being with my children. I'm with them. I had some ups and downs in my business, and at one point I took care of the children full time when they were 1 and 3.5 or 4, and I did that for quite a few years, and I was so happy I was able to spend as much time with them as possible. I work from home, so I was able to build my business at the same time taking care of them, and my wife was doing her business. So lots of challenges, some struggles, and no mistakes, and another thing I like doing as a father is during the summer I like to pack the car and just go. And we go to the national parks, we go to the Grand Canyon, we go to Yosemite, and there's no time that we really have to be back. We can take anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks off, and we just go. We've been to the Hoh Rainforest in Washington State. We've been to Grand Canyon, Yosemite, Sedona, all over the Southwest, and it's just great camping with the kids and teaching them resilience. And fatherhood's just been fantastic, and I'm so excited for the teenage years. I call them the terrific twos. I wasn't into labeling them as the terrible twos, or and the teenage years I think are just going to be a blessing as well. Everybody changes, and I had my rebel years, so it'll keep me on my spiritual toes. So thanks for watching this video. I encourage anyone that's out there, if get clear on if you want to have a family, because it is a blessing, and it is the most natural thing for a human being to have children. Nature's first law is self-preservation. That's why we all want to get laid at the biochemical level. So if you want to have kids, have them, and do a little preparation, because it helps. But let me tell you, you can't prep it. There's not enough preparation. There's still going to be curveballs that are going to help your soul grow. But family is everything. So thanks for watching this video. I appreciate you.
Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and then check in the description box. All the programs that I have to take your health and consciousness to the next level is in the link below.